So this is Erica May, and I'm going to show you how I created the Faux Chenille using a Dollar Tree towel. So I'm going to hoop my stabilizer. I'm using the Brother NQ1700E, and I hoop my stabilizer. I'm using the 6x10 hoop. I'm going to float my project. I'm going to use the tool that came with your machine, where you place your dots on your placement to make sure you align it. And I'm going to do that real quick, just so I can make sure it is centered correctly. I have a sweatshirt from my friends over at JLT, Erica and Adam. They are no longer selling these, so I grabbed what I could, and I'm going to make a red and white sweatshirt for one of my line sisters using the Jackson State symbol. I am a vendor. I'm turning it inside out, and I'm going to fold it in half. I forgot to mention this part. Usually the sweatshirts have a line there. Since this is a tutorial, I am going to pin it, and I'm put a few pins there so you can make sure you see where the lines are, and then I'll come back. With sweatshirts, I usually just use that line that's already there, and I measure down 3, and then I pin it. So I'm going to put it here, so my pin is going to go right about there. All right, my sweatshirt is folded in half. I'm going to do some spraying to make sure to tack it down good. I have it folded in half. I'm just going to make sure it lines up on these lines up here at the top and the bottom. And then I made sure my pin was close, like my top pin that I did for my 3 inches down. I made sure it was right there on that piece right there. I'm going to fold it over and smooth it out here. So when I look inside, hope you can see. When I look inside, my pins are all lined up on that piece right there. See right there? My pins are all lined up. All right, make sure it's smooth out. And we're gonna go over to the machine. I just decided that I should show you how to put it on here, because it can be a little difficult with all this bulk. So what I do, I'm on the NQ1700E. It'll work very similar to the P800. You just can't do a big enough design like what I'm getting ready to do. I'm gonna slide it in just a little bit, and then when I get to this part here, I make sure that the base goes under first with the bottom, the front of the sweatshirt, and the bulk of it waits for a minute till I can get it lined up into my slider, and then I start to slide this under. So I'm gonna do that, and I can do that and press it down, and then that's when I take the rest of the bulk and I move it out of the way. So yeah. All right, so I am using these towels that I got from a 3-pack from Dollar Tree, and I've already used part of one on a tester, so I'm thinking I may be able to get 1 or 2 more out of that one. I could not find any more in that color, so yeah, maybe just a few of these that are made. So I'm going to take my pins out, because you definitely don't want your machine hitting those pins. I'm going to take the first 2 out, and then I'm going to do the trace feature to show me where it's going to hit. So I'm going to drop this down a little bit. All right, I'm going to do a trace feature. And just so some people can see the raise your foot feature that a lot of people are asking about, this little tool right here, this little button, if I go there and I move this over, you can change your speed, your tension. I don't mess with any of that. You can do your embroidery foot height, It's normally on the 1.5, but you can move it down or up. And then, let's see if there's anything else. Oh, that's if you want to raise your foot. So I didn't raise it doing these sweatshirts. So let me go back. I'm gonna go back to the standard, which is the 1.5 because it's highlighted. And so now I'm going to okay. All right, so now I'm going to find this here. I went here by clicking this here. I have my trace feature, and when I click it there, I can click this button here, and it'll actually trace and show me where exactly it's going to hit, or the area. Let me move it up a bit. So once I click that trace button, I see that it's going to go there, there. I have lots of room still down here. And it's going to go right above my little pen. My pen came out with it. So now that I know it's where I want it to be, I can start embroidering. I'm going to skip a few steps on this because I just want to show you the towel step. And I'm going to make sure my thread is the color of my towel. Because on my first one, I noticed that when I did my white thread and my blue, oh, hold on, I moved my thread. I'm gonna thread my machine with this blue because my towel is blue. When I threaded it with the white, it kind of showed through a little bit, and I want to make sure it doesn't show as much. So I'm gonna thread it real quick, and then let's just do this. Let's do a thread. All right, so you can see me threading as well. I have a stand that it's on, so it's not, my thread is not on the machine, but I'm gonna go in this one, go up 2, come across, down, it has 3, the numbers are there, come up 4, go down 5, there's a little groove in here, I'm gonna go there, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so I do have that quick tutorial on my channel as well. All right, so now that we have it threaded, I'm just going to do the towel part. Let me skip a couple of steps. All right, so first it's going to give me my placement, where you want your towel to be. That's what's going to give me first. Okay, that gave me my placement. I didn't want to talk while it was going because I want to make sure you could hear me. One of the videos you could not hear me as well. All right, so now I'm going to take that towel piece that I told you I used, and I'm going to have to skip a step because I needed it to tack down and it had another step in there. So I'm going to place this over, make sure the towel is, and you know what? I wanted to tack it down. Let me do, I do want to tack this down, so I'm going to take some heating bond and I'm going to put it on the other side of the towel. So I'll be right back. Now I could do this whole piece, but I am not at this time. I'm just going to do a piece where I know I'm going to use on the towel, and I'm going to press it so I can cover it. Cover the part that's going to lay on my applique. picture on that. Damn it. Okay. I just want it to be there for a second. All right, back to the machine. Okay, now it's just going to tack it down so I can cut the extra around it so I can applique it. Over a little bit and catch those edges. And now you're going to take it out and you're going to cut around it, around the applique. I'll show you that. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the applique process, where you're going to just take your applique scissors and cut as close as you can to the line where they put the they tacked it down, the tack down stitch. Get as close as you can. Let's see if I can get. Okay, now I'm just going to get as close as I can with applique scissors to the tack down stitch. I'm going to go all the way across and do that all the way across. See, I still have a little bit left on this towel, so I am going to save it. And what I do with these little pieces, you can either use a lint roller, which I normally have, but my children, my boys keep stealing them from me. They like to use them. And my last one, I'm out of. I used my last little sheet of it. So I have, yeah. So it's gone. So normally I use a lint roller, but this time, since I don't have my lint roller, and I don't feel like going to figure out what they did with the one that they stole from me, I'm going to use some tape. So I just use tape and I do it like this. Use what you got. You don't have a lint roller at the moment, the tape will work just fine. All right, that's done. Alright, so we are putting this back on. Remember I said to get the frame under first, then slide in your slider there, and then try to start pushing the bulk of your shirt under. Alright. I have to make sure this is not up under the frame. Alright, so that piece is done. I'm gonna make sure that's all out of the way. Alright, and then I'm gonna go to the stitch that tacks this down and the satin stitch. And this one's a long one, so I'm gonna just do parts of it and show. 7 minutes. Not too long, but it's longer than I want to record. Make sure everything's out the way. I almost messed up just then. Make sure you can pin it with some clips. My clips are somewhere over there. So just clip it back. If you're not, especially if you're not watching it. I watch mine since I'm on this flatbed. All right, I'm back with the other part. It did the tack down stitch of the letter, and then it did some extra stitching to make sure it was in place, and now it is doing the satin stitch around it. So I'm gonna let that play for a little bit so you can see. So it's really easy. You're basically doing your placement stitch, then putting your towel over the placement stitch with some heat and bond, just like you would normally do a regular applique. And then you're doing basically the exact same thing as the applique. You're just using the towel instead. But I was just showing you how I did it. Just in case there were questions, I just decided to go ahead and just share it. All right. I will post the final look at the end of this video. This is Erica Chablis with Erica Made. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. Thanks a bunch.